Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our first session of PTV Talks at IMEA. Today, to see how PTV Vism supported studies on ATSC optimization using VisVAP, road safety, and toll plaza operation optimization. We encourage you to continuously visit our website for a few upcoming events and webinars that are dedicated to students. So we are having our next session on March 15th, tackling transportation research board. Stay tuned for upcoming PTV talks as well, students edition for IMEA. Now allow me to introduce the team for this webinar. To start with our product manager for academia and research, Marilou Martin Gazoya from our HQ in Germany, who graduated from the University of Florida with a PhD in civil engineering. Her main focus is to support students and young professionals in finding their path while modeling the world with PTV software. Moving on to our speakers, we have Chintaman, who will be presenting on the topic of impact assessment of emissions due to provisions of toll plazas on highways. Our second speaker will be Parthiban, who will demonstrate how developing proximal safety indicators for the safety assessment of rotary intersections. And myself, your moderator, Majd Al-Jayusi. In case you have any questions, so please, we encourage you to type it in the question box during the presentation, and we will address all your questions in the dedicated Q&A session, which will be right after each session. So we recommend that you enlarge your screen to be able to see the presentation in a full screen mode. And now, without any further delay, I will hand it to Chintaman. The mic is yours, Chintaman.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, so greetings of the day to all. I am Chintaman Bari, a research scholar from Sardar Vallabhbhai National Institute of Technology, Surat, India. I am here to give brief on impact assessment of emission due to provision of toll plazas on highway. Before moving toward the topic, let's discuss some facts about India. India is having second largest road network among the world, which carries 1% of the world vehicular population. Considering the statistics as per the 2018, the vehicular growth rate is about 9.9%. We are having 1.7% of the national highway, which carries 40% of the traffic. India is a developing country which covers PPP model, that is public-private partnership. Considering the statistics given by the World Bank of 2017, about 33% of the total share of the PPP projects are from the transportation sector. In India, we are having two types of toll collection system, open toll and closed toll. In open toll, we have to pay toll after a particular distance. But for a closed toll system, we have to pay toll for each entry and exit. As from 2014, we have implemented the FASTag, that is electronic toll collection system, but we are also having the manual toll collection system. Considering the overview of Indian toll system, more than 700 toll plazas are there on the national highway and state highway as shown in the figure. Though FASTag has made compulsory from January 2020, the penetration reaches up to only 45%. So for the present study, the different literature has been carried out for the emission estimation. Different researchers from different countries carried out the emission estimation with the help of different software such as IVE, simulation, mobile, on different facilities. But emission modeling at toll plaza under mixed traffic condition is not studied yet. Then the various researchers have used the simulation software for toll plaza modeling and for checking the operation. It includes TPAS, TPSIM, ARENA, Paramix, Shaker, and PTV Vism 2. So what is the need of the challenges for the study? Considering the Indian traffic, long queue get developed in peak hour. which causes the extra emissions at the toll plaza and causing the health problem to the toll booth operator and the daily commuters. Although emission estimation is a time-consuming process and a laborious too, but it is a important too. Further, if we consider the developed country, we are having the lane-based traffic. So what is the mixed traffic? Mixed traffic means dedicated lanes are present at toll plaza for each class of vehicle. But due to driver behavior in developing countries like India, the different vehicle class present in each lane causes mixed traffic condition. It will affect on the service time and thus the toll plaza operation. Further, this toll plaza operations, the delays and the extra emission causes health issues to the toll booth operator and daily commuters. So the focus of the present study is to develop the calibrated micro simulation model for MTC method under mixed traffic condition. Further, to analyze the impact of presence of toll plaza on the emission parameter at national highway, to develop the regression equation for easily estimation of the emission at toll plaza, and to estimate the emission based passenger car unit factor during MTC and FASTag method. So the question may arise, why micro simulation model? As the 100% penetration is not yet achieved in Indian traffic condition. Second, the mixed traffic condition is creating problem for the toll plaza operation, which has to be incorporated while the analysis. Third one, policies depending upon only observation lead to variable result and thus can be dangerous in terms of monetary loss. Hence, we use the micro simulation software, which is a cost-effective tool, which can help to give a idea well before the planning all the things. Second, when it is a handy tool. In our study, we have used the PTV VSIM. So the question is, why PTV VSIM? The thing is that it is an effective tool for studying the mixed traffic condition. And second one, many researchers have applied PTV VSIM for toll plaza operation, and it is very easy to understand. Hence, we use the PTV VSIM for our study. For the present study, the methodology is as follows. From the challenges, we have set the objectives. Then for development, we fix the motto that analysis should be done with the micro simulation, and hence for micro simulation software development, we have collected the data with the help of videographic and performance box. In model simulation model development, the important is calibration and validation. After that, the scenario analysis is done for emissions and the results and conclusion. Considering the methodology part, the data collection and simulation model development is a very critical part. So what is requirement for simulation? For requirement of simulation, the field data is necessary. So for the present study, the field data is collected as Ghoti Toll Plaza. The data is collected with the help of videographic survey with the help of 5 different cameras at different locations covering the service time and delay. Further, the P box, that is performance box, it is a handy instrument to get the trajectory of a vehicle, is used to get the speed and acceleration profile of the vehicle. We have taken the 7 different vehicle class for the study. The present graph shows the different lane wise composition, which shows that the mixed traffic is present in lane 2. So moving forward, the base model development in VSIM. For development of any model in VSIM, for toll plaza operation, we require 3 parameters: geometric, traffic, and simulation. The geometric parameters such as approach lane, toll booth location are taken from the field observation. Traffic parameters such as vehicle type, arrival volume, speed profile, they have taken from the field data collection, that is videographic and PBox. The figure shows the developed VSIM model, which consists of different links, stop sign, reduced speed area for each 50-meter section, which consists of which is incorporated for the service time and the queue delay operation. This is the input which is given to the VSIM for the reduced speed area and the dwell time distribution for stop time in the form of CDF. The important step is the calibration and validation of the VSIM. Here we have used the Weidman 74 model, which is used by most of the researchers in the study for the toll plaza operating under mixed traffic condition. Here, first we define the base model, then the model is run, then the field and simulated values are compared. If the field and simulator values are under the prescribed limit, which is checked by the statistical stake, in our case, we have used the GE statistic, then that factors are considered. If not, then iterations are done again and again till we are reaching up to the proper calibrated value. So in our present study, we get these calibrated values. These are the default values which are in the VSIM, and these are the calibrated value which we have developed for approach lane and for toll booth for different vehicle class for the model. So the calibration is done. Now for validation, the GE statistics use, and GE statistics say that if the value is below the 5, then the model is well calibrated. And here, as you see that the GE statistics value is 1.56 and 1.01, we say that the model is well calibrated. This is a screenshot which shows that the model is developed in VSIM, and here a car is followed by a trailer and then by car. So same mixed nature which is observed in the field, the same is observed here. So the main step is after scenario analysis. Here all, as we are not having the 100% penetration of FASTag lane, we have converted all MTC lane to the FASTag lane. Here first impact of presence of toll plaza on emission is carried out. It is observed that due to the presence of MTC lane, 100% MTC lane, the emissions are maximum for each, that is carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide and volatile organic compound. On comparison with the MTC lane, the full implementation of FASTag decreases emission by 317%. These equations are developed for easy estimation of the emission on the field for different category of emission, such as CO, NOx for MTC and FASTag lane. Lastly, the important is the development of emission-based passenger car unit. EPCU is the emission of the ith category upon emission of the carth category. It is seen from the figure that the EPCU values of the MTC lanes are more than the ETC lane. If we consider the EPC of MTC lane is 1.84, 5.02 and 5.14 times than the FASTag lane. So why there is need that EPC is required? The developed EPC values will be used for emission-based congestion pricing and toll rate policy. So these are my inferences from the study. The PTVC micro simulation model accurately represents the toll plaza operating under mixed traffic condition. Further, the results show that operating the toll plaza on MTC method shows an increment of emission of 96%, while for FASTag method it shows an increment of 114%. The EPC varies from 3.42 to 11.06 in MTC condition, while in FASTag condition it varies in between 1.85 and 2.15. So way forward, so we have received, in the present study, we have received a grant from the Government of India and Government of Germany for the warrants for automation of toll plaza under mixed traffic condition. My project guide is Dr. Ashish Damania, who is Associate Professor in SVNIT Surat, and our co-German partner is Professor Konstantinos Antino, who is from Technical University of Munich. So the present model will be used in this study. I acknowledge to the TQ3, which is a government initiative for giving the project of development of warrants for automation of toll plazas in India, and I also acknowledge to PTVSIM for providing the platform for sharing my work. These are my references. Lastly, I want to see that we are moving towards open toll system now, and we know that it will provide better results. But as the quote says, I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Being willing is not enough. We must do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, now it's Marilo talking. I will apologize first if there is a lot of background noise, but thank you very much, Chintaman. Really good presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
And I will proceed with some of the questions that we have. No, our pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much. By the way, I'm going to say to the audience that you were selected because this paper was accepted in the last Transportation Research Board annual meeting. So congratulations also on that. So
Thank
I
you.
have the first question is like how, you're welcome. So the first question is, how did you calibrate the lane usage percentage in PTV VISIM?
Ma'am, for the percentage of means lane usage, we have used the means we have for lane usage, ma'am, the lane choice behavior is there. So whatever we have observed in the field, we have done that, but the um, by using lane, ma'am, that lane.
Okay.
I
So then
just forgot
you
that. I
no
forgot
worries.
that
Then
name.
no worries, no worries. So then what you have is you measure the percentage usage there, and then you implement it in VISIM through like routes, or how do you implement it? I think that the question goes there.
Yes. By vehicle routing decision we have given, and by vehicle routing decision we have given the percentage for each route. So whatever the traffic is coming, we have observed that in 3 of the lanes, different traffic is there, proportion. So with the vehicle routing decision, we have given the traffic for each lane, and in that way we have calibrated that, ma'am. Hello.
The second question that I have, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. So the second question that I have, I think that is really related to your slide 20, because of the calibration was just to calibrate for this. And in fact, I feel it interesting, so I would like that you extend a little bit more. Can we come back to slide 20? I took notes on that when I saw the question.
Ma'am, but that access is not there to me now. Can you please give me access?
Okay, yeah. Randy, can you give access to Chintaman so he can come back to slide 20? You can extend explaining a little bit on this, because they were asking a couple of questions about the calibration. So I think that is better that probably you extend a little bit more on your explanation on the process of calibrating through this slide.
Okay, ma'am. So basically, we have used the Weidman 74 model for our calibration purpose, and the following these parameters which are there in Weidman 74, the following behavior with the 3 parameter: average, standstill, multiplicative, and additive factors, then lateral behavior parameters, and lane changing behavior parameters. We do the trial and error analysis for calibrating the VC model. Means as we have given the field data, it was easy to calibrate the model. Uh, we have we changed the values. Sorry, the next slide. Yes. These were the default values. By calibration, we get these values. Means suppose for small car it is 0.2 and for big car is 0.21, and this is for means we calibrate in the two sense. Driving behaviors are given for the two sections, one for approach lane and at for the toll booth where the queue is there. At approach lane, as Indian traffic is mixed in nature and we are not having lane based nature, so we have put the desired position at free flow as any, but for at the toll booth where the queue is there, we have given the desired position as a middle, and the other parameters like that we have calibrated. uh, First we take one trial, then we check the whatever the volume, the field delay is there. If the simulated and field delay matches, then we go for the stopping. If not, then we again repeat the procedure. And the
Perfect.
statistical significance is checked with the help of the GEH statistics.
Exactly, that you explain it later. Yeah, sure. Okay, so thank you. We have more questions, but I think that since we are connected, in fact, I will send them to you and probably like share it again with the person in the audience. So I'm gonna keep the name and forward the answers. So thank you very much. It was a great presentation. Again, thank you for attending these PTV talks and congratulations for being accepted as a TRB paper. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity here to present. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. So Max, now is your moment. You can proceed and introduce the next speaker.
Thank you, Marilu. Sorry, I had a problem. My computer froze. Okay, so our second speaker for today will be Parthiban, who will be demonstrating how developing proximal safety indicators for safety assessment of rotary intersection. So Parthiban, the mic is yours.
For all. Did I audible? Randy?
If we can hear you, yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. My master's degree thesis was that developing an proximal safety indicator for the safety assessment of the rotary intersection. I did my master's degree in the Jyoti Engineering College. It's in India. We have a co-author, that is an Arun, and we have a guide, that is an Archana ma'am. Okay, this is my table of the content. Broadly, we will discuss about the 8 topics under what is the safety analysis and how the PTV WISM that will helpful for us based upon the traditional methods, how we are calculating these safety measures in the rotary intersections. That's all. And then introduction. I taken the study area as an India, and especially in the Kerala. It is located in the Thrissur. It's a small city. I have taken that as a study area. So based upon that, the remaining process and the methodologies are followed. The road safety of the road user is the major concern for both developed and the developing nations. Why? Because means the major national economy and the people welfare is that safety measures only. In India, if you take in India, like 17 people's lost every hours in that was recorded in the 2011 based upon this accident happen in the especially for the road sector, and it's an not decreasing, and badly it's an increasing to 26 lives as per in the 2019. So it's an we need an renewable or a reliable strategy to prevent this accident, and then a high percentage of the road accidents are mainly geometries or nothing else. Okay, based upon that pedestrian and the vehicle interactions, based upon that maximum driver behavior and the human errors are happening these road types of accidents. And in India, if you taken as an these are the heterogeneous traffic condition. If you are taken for the other countries or a developed countries, means they are doing in the homogeneous traffic, but it's a developing country that especially in India we have an heterogeneous traffic condition. So the first and foremost for developing the any other road sectors, the safety measures is then important for us. And then a road intersection I have taken as an roundabout. So we have the so many of road sections. So I have taken the small part of the road section that is a roundabout, and especially in the unsignalized intersection. And why? Because means it's an unsignalized intersection. We have the roundabout, so that is fine. But in that is also having an road safety. There is a list about of the road safety due to the speed. We have a signalized intersection means in the roundabout means there will be a reduction of the speed. Then the vehicle coming from the mainstream to the roundabout will be in speed will be reduced. So that will be an interaction between the vehicle and the vehicle, like a rear end collision will be in low, not low, maybe in nil. But if you're taken for the unsignalized intersection means these roundabouts, there will not be any like a safety measures to control the speed, like a traffic controlling device, that there is not much about in the roundabouts in the unsignalized intersections. So taken that. Okay, the proper planning of the roundabout is necessary to reduce the percentage of death and the injuries on the roads. So the easiest method to predict or to make a planning, the microscopic traffic simulation is the best method for a time saving and an effective manner, and we can do more time of simulations. Then it's a convenient method to analyze the safety measures. Why? Because means we cannot plan or do the or implement after the what is the safety analysis, what we cannot do. Before that planning or analyzing this micro simulation traffic, it's an useful methods. So I have taken for the safety analysis that an surrogate safety assessment model is made from the PTV WISM by using the vehicle tragedy data file, that is an output we can get from this software, that PTV WISM. This software, the output file is an useful for to model or to evaluate the safety measures made in the road structures, what we have planned, and we can calculate that to identify the conflict of the vehicle interactions. For that purpose, this surrogate safety assessment model as a strategy file it's using, and there is an proactive evaluation to assess the safety level of the interaction using the post encroachment time methods, and it's an indicator for the safety measure, that is a post encroachment time, and this method is a proactive evaluation method. And the literature reviews, I have searched so many literature reviews, like most of the current literatures are covering the highway safety analysis for the both developing and developed countries, both in the India's and then abroad also, or the safety, traffic safety and the risk evaluations has been conducted using the traditional methods. Maximum they are doing for the traditional methods, but nowadays the some of the researchers are doing in the like an micro simulations are doing on. But for the traditional method, they have taken the historical crash data for making the statistical methods or the perspective of the analytical models they are conducting. But this surrogate safety measures taken more concentrate on the traffic conflict techniques. That is the main concept. This measures as a tragedy file that is coming out from the WISM, they are taking out, that is a traffic conflict techniques. And the large number of studies has been carried out to develop and apply the different indicators. So we have the like around 38 indicators for the only for the safety measures, that is based upon the literature review I have taken out, and the different indicators for the evaluation of this traffic conflict in the different road geometrics and for the operational conditions. And then that is, as I told you before, that is a 38 major proximity indicators are used to analyze this safety analysis. And among them, the mainly some of the researchers are concentrate on the time to collision between the vehicle. It's like a rear end collision. What is the time between the rear bumper to the front bumper of the vehicles? They are calculating in the road sections, and time to accident, headway, critical gap, deacceleration rate to avoid the crashes, and potential index like an urgent deaccelerations, and required for the braking rate. Like these are the major proximate indicators are used for the researchers to identify this safety measures in the road sectors. And almost all the application of they are mainly concentrated on this traffic conflict techniques, that is related to the developed countries where the land disciplines are good, and also for the level of enforcement are very much good in the developing countries. Why? Because means they are mostly on the heterogeneous traffic conditions. But on the other hand, we can take in for the India as it's a developing country. It's in the reverse scenario, that is a lack of an land discipline due to the behavior of the driver, but there is a very less level of enforcement is available in these developing countries. So to avoid this, we cannot blame anyone. So avoid making an accident. So we have a good software, that is an PTV WISM, for making an simulation to make the what is the arrangements or safety measures we can do. So therefore, some adaptations is needed for the application of the different surrogate indicators. Surrogate indicators is an safety evaluation on the safety measures, okay, for the developing countries under the post encroachment time and the time to collision. And this is my methodology. First of all, I have taken the study area data collection, and the data collection is based upon the accident data, road inventory, videographic surveys, and then the traffic data extractions based upon the classified vehicles, conflict zones, and then simulation is done due to based upon the road inventory details and the volumes, speed of the vehicles, and then based upon that, by using the software PTV WISM, developing a proximal safety indicators, that is an surrogate safety assessment model, and by using the validation, by using the another software, it's an add-on software, okay, that is an SSAM. It's a software that is developed by the Federal Highway Administrators. So it's a free software. By using that, we can extract the data, and we can reduce the what is the happening in the like an inbuilt of that background of the what is the PTV wisdom is happen in the road safeties, like that, and also validations of the model and the conclusions. Okay, the PET, that is an post encodement time data, was extracted using the overlay techniques of CAD images on the video files. This is a traditional method to evaluate the what is the conflict between the vehicle and vehicle in the road sector. That is based upon this a traditional method that based upon the CAD images. They have made an like an check boxes they are made, and then a sensitive analysis should be made as to perform using and well developed and then validate the microscopic simulation model. Okay, next is the data collection. I have taken the data collection. You can see here there is an three red color marks, that is an three major rotary intersections within the city permits. You can see this is the like this city is based upon the Kerala state, and the special like a special of the city in the road section, that is an in a single roundabout the whole city is connected. You can see in the center of the image, you can see the roundabout. It's a 2 kilometer length of the roundabout. It's a 2 kilometer length of the roundabout. The city is framed or located in these roundabouts. It's connected. It's an like a city center. We can call it a city center or the center of the city. That is based upon this roundabout only. The everything will be connected, and that is connected to the another cities also based upon these roads only. So I have taken the three cities, that is an Shaktan, it's an Aswini, and the East Fort. It's on the local names, okay, the roundabouts. And then I have taken in the PTV WISM, okay, for simulating or to make an road geometry conditions. In the PTV WISM, we have the three types of like two types of mapping systems having. One is that aerial view, and another is that PTV default having. In an aerial view, you can see the image of that. It's an like a Google map. What we see in the Google map as satellite view, that is an same ditto for that aerial view. And this image is taken from the latest version of 2021. Okay, and then if you taken in the PTV default, this is also an it's an we can see the generalized Google map. What is we can see in the generalized Google map? That is the view for the map we have taken. I have taken from the PTV group software, and that actual same as to that and remaining study areas also, the aerial views and the PTV groups PTV default map is having. So that is that more or less there are same based upon the Google Maps also. I have compared with the four things, like an aerial view taken from the PTV WISM, and also from the default view from the PTV, and also from the our Google Map, and also the actual condition based upon the photographic. I have taken the most of these four images are in the same condition to evaluate or to use the PTV WISM more similar. That is an field study. Okay, the field study and the simulation study are more as similar. If you taken for the remaining softwares means a little bit there is changes in that. If you taken for the why I'm choosing PTV WISM is an user friendly, so that only. And then okay, after the data collections and analyzing what is why the PTV WISMs are used. Okay, so that main concept is then proximal safety indicators. The main factor of this is an safety indicator that is applied in the road geometry conditions. Okay, how this is applied to the road geometry conditions, let us see. The traffic safety analysis is normally based upon the accident data only. We will tell that this road sections is an more congested or more accident prevented or an black spot area. We will call it based upon the accident data. It's a traditional method. Okay, that is an after the fact or the reactive approach. Okay, so I want to make a changes by using this simulation software as a proactive method. So that is the proactive method is that proximal safety indicators. Okay, to measure this temporal spatial measures that reflect the closures of the road users, and the projection points of the collisions we can take it in the like a proactive methods, and there is a suggest for the significance of the short steady periods. This statisticals are the reliable results, and more research if you're taken for that effective and ethically happening is that fast and reliable and then effective safety assessment is that proactive approach for the traffic safety is by the proximal safety indicators that is taken from the micro simulation software. So this is the post encroachment time. So the post encroachment time means this is the time duration between the each vehicle. Like if the vehicle, this is an example of the like an conflict, we can say there is an example for the T junction I have taken out. You can see here that an one vehicle is from the minor road and it will connect to the major road. Okay, there will be the like a red color marks. So when the vehicle like an in the conflict area, the first vehicle that is in the major road wants to move from that point and another vehicle will come to that conflict area. That time duration is called the post encroachment time, or the time to collision, or the collision time, or on conflict time, like that we can tell. This time should be an typically of like an 1 seconds to 1.5 seconds, means there will be an reduce of road accident or the collision between the two vehicles. Okay, this time should be an reducing, like a reduced means that time should be an increase. Okay, like above 1 seconds or 1.5 seconds, it's a nominal for the encroachment time, having in seconds only. So this seconds duration should be an increases only. If it goes to the below 0 seconds, like a negative seconds, means there will be negative seconds also in the so micro simulation software will be get the answers. So if you're getting this negative answers, means there will be an surely of an collision between the vehicles. If you're getting the positive values in the like a post encroachment time, or the like an a surrogate safety measures times, means time to like a conflict crossings, means there will not be any collision between the like any collisions between the vehicles. Okay, that is called the post encroachment time. That is the time between the vehicle and vehicle, that the vehicle is connecting from the main road to minor road to the major roads. And then extracting the PET from the recorded video. This is the traditional method for extracting this PET values. Okay, why? Because means based upon this PET value, we can tell below 0 seconds or below 1 seconds, means there will be a collision. Based upon that, we can tell you. Maybe it's a negative, means surely we will have the collision between the vehicles. This is a traditional method. In this method, we don't use any simulation softwares also. That is, an PET data is extracted from the video, constructing a grid lines based upon the grid lines in the conflict zone, and we have using the some video files like in the software that Corolla Video Studios. We are using it based upon that the PET2 and the PET1 means in the first. You can see yellow color it's mentioning it, that is that T1, and in the T2 means there is a conflict area has been marked. That conflict areas are called as the grid, constructing the grids. When the first vehicles were leaves that grid and the second vehicles comes to that same grid, that is the time duration we will take in. This is a more traditional method, and it's an it will take in more time durations. So to reduce this, we have taken a simulation software, that is in PTV Vism. Why I have taken the PTV Vism? It's an like an advantages of the PTV Vism, sir. The major variables used in this software is an flow, vehicle composition, speed, design speed, turnings and the mainlands movement, acceleration, deacceleration, lane configurations, and gap acceptance and the rejections, headways and the standing distance, level of service. These are the major variables we can use in this simulation software. And the crash type considerations are crossing, merging, diverging, rear end, right angle, land changing, or we can take it out. And the strength of this software is that an analyze a wide range of traffic activities, not a sticky node, like a link based dynamic routing system, visually and identified, no predefined intersection types, and objects can be added to an extra points with the desired effects of the road users. The user can choose the durations of the analysis about on 3D models we can choose, and COM and GIS is also an enabled, and these are the data I aggregated from the literature reviews, and I have worked in this software. So these are the advantages to make an to avoid this traditional method, to make as a more easier methods. And then Vissim simulators based network. By using the Vissim simulators, I did the project work. This how I create the road sectors, like a base network. I have created volumes, vehicle compositions of the each approach intersections, priority roles, and the conflict areas are generated, and a new driving behavior models was added. And the method I have used on Weidman 74 car following models is used based upon the Indian traffic conditions, and the values are taken as then trial and error methods. So I have chosen a trial and error methods that I am adding an like a Weidman like a car followings based upon the vehicle interaction and moving vehicles like that. And in addition to that, right of the way controls also considered for this. This is an unsignalized intersection, so the priority for circulating the flow. So that only I have taken this right of the way to control. Right of the way options is taken from this PTV Vism for this unsignalized roundabouts. So these are the parameters I have considered to model my safety measures, to make a model of the safety measures in the PTV systems. And then this is the it's a sample image that having the roundabout in the right of the top corner. You can see that it's a sample image that is constructed from the PTV Vism. Okay, and then
please, you should hurry up a little bit. Okay, sorry for saying this.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries. It's perfect, and I'm enjoying, but unfortunately, yeah, we should finish on time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The Vism is a micro simulation models, and the output file is a strategy file. We can get it from the evaluation configuration, that is an SSAM. You can get that output file as a strategy file. Okay, if you click this option means you can get that output file, and this will be useful for the SSAM to calculate the surrogate measures, safety measures. This is an output file we can get from that Vism. And then I have added the traffic climbing devices. Why? Because means in the roundabout, for the signalized intersection or the unsignalized intersection, we don't have to provide the traffic climbing devices, but due to control this road safety, we are providing the traffic climbing device. It's an practicing only. So the traffic climbings are the road hump, rumble strip, and the speed tables, and the like some of the traffic climbing devices are installed and evaluated. Okay, these are the traffic climbing devices added in the Vism. Okay, in the speed tables we can add the speed tables by using the link, by using the offset. We can use this speed tables as a rising table, and the speed bumps also installed, and the rumbled strip to reduce the speed of the vehicles, and for the speed of the hump is also used. Bump under the hump is that smaller height, and the bump is that heavier height to restrict sudden restrictions of the speed of the vehicles. So roundabouts, and then I have provided, these are based upon the IRC code. And then surrogate safety measures is a model. Okay, I have told you the second more software that is used for the to take an to take the time to collisions and the post encroachment time. This is software is developed from the Federal Highway Administrator. The output file is we are getting from that SSAM, like a strategy file we are getting from that. Just add in this software. It's a free software. It's available in the Federal Highway Administrator. If you're using this software means we can have that what is the like this is the output we are getting, that minimum maximum pollutions and the variance of the pollution, PD values, and that safety measures we are getting from the SSAM. And the result that by using the crash detection estimation, by using the traffic controlling device like a bump and the rubble strip, speed hump, speed tables, and with bumps has been adopted. And the crash reduction is based upon it without bumps. This is an actual scenario. The crashes per year is that it's an 400 per year it will be happening. It's an like it's a prediction only. So based upon by giving the traffic climbing devices means I have reduced the like a 34% of the road accident has been reduced with the bumps, and based upon the respectively for the three areas roundabouts. And the conclusion is that the present study highlights the importance of microsimulation in the safety evaluation in the terms of PET, that is in post-encroachment time, as the safety measures or to the rotary intersections. Likewise, the procedures adopted for evaluating the speed bumps and the methodologies for the it's an proactive methods as I described you, and it's an and I have strongly tell you that it's an unethical to reply that unconventional based upon the accident data. If you are doing for the safety precaution process for the road safety means it's an unethical. So as a transportation engineer, the most possibilities that the countries are developing, so the opportunities are more and the technologies are improving, that like an micro simulation softwares we are having. So I'm using this micro simulation to analyze the safety measures for this traffic assessment and the predictions, and then this is an useful for the potential for the traffic transportation planning and the traffic engineers in the future studies to check the whether the area is in the like a safety measures or not. And then these are my references, and my gratitude to the Merino and Randy for giving the opportunity, and also the PTV groups of Dubai and the PTV, and the most cases I have studied from the PTV with a webinar series only. So thank you. Having any other questions? So sorry for that taking so much of time.
Yeah, I see
Safety
that, but
measures.
I understand. I understand both things. First, roundabout and visum for me is the best. So yeah. Then, in fact, I'm member of both the IT and the TRB roundabouts committees. So then I understand you. Why we spend, and I love to see research done into safety for roundabouts.
Okay.
We have tons of questions. In fact, most of them are from Rajesh on our question panel. So I'm gonna select some of them, and then probably I will put you both of you in contact, because he's also providing you links of some papers that he was referring to. But he's asking one of the things that is what is the diameter of East Fort rotatory study section?
Yeah, it's an East Fort is in the Thrissur, Kerala. I have taken the 3 study areas. There is a study area name, location name, East Fort.
Okay, I don't know if I'm still in the session or I lost connection. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, sorry. I don't know if it was you or me, the one losing connection. Okay, I don't know if you finished answering the question, because I lost part of it.
Okay.
Okay, so, and there is also that is how was SSIM that is developed for lane discipline traffic was modified and used for non or weak lane discipline traffic in India. So how you adapt that? Because the SSIAM from the Federal Highway Administration is for discipline traffic. So how did you adapt it to this study?
Okay, I have taken the roundabouts. Okay, but it's an we can use it. This is for the T junctions also, or whatever the highway or in the state highways or whatever the road sections are. We can use this methods like an it's an proactive method. So by using the traffic climbing devices, whatever that we can install in the software, we can model it. We can model the road sections, and the output trajectory file that will allow it that an elevation like an it's a process of the SSMA software, that is a second party software. Based upon the second party software only, I can take the what is the safety like time to collision or time, whatever the time I'm getting in that design.
Okay, perfect. Well, I will also contact you soon, because I really like this study. Congratulations, especially being a roundabout lover. I really enjoy your presentation. And thank you for using Vissim for this. I always love to see use Vissim for safety analysis. Thank you very much. And as I said, I will put you in contact with this attendee that wants to ask you more questions. So for this, there are a lot of them, but I just had to select some of them. So thank you very much. No, our pleasure, totally our pleasure. So Master, you can go and introduce the third speaker.
Yes. we'll just give it a few minutes since Randy is compiling the presentation, but I'd like to thank you, Marilou. And before moving to our last presenter for this session, I would like to thank Pratibhan very much for the great presentation. It's very informative. So basically, we appreciate the time you took in preparation. And now, finally, we can move to our last speaker for today's session, Ahmed Salim from the University of Gujarat, who will be presenting on the agent of based model for traffic signal optimization. So Ahmed, the mic is yours.
Okay, it seems that we had a technical issue. Okay, since I think that since we are running out of time, with the permission from Masht, I think that we should then try to reschedule Ahmad on the next presentation for sure, because we wanna hear about this agent-based model. What do you think if we call it a session, and he will present in the second session?
Yes, I think that sounds great, because we are actually running out of time, and let us give him his chance in explaining it properly and having it the way he wanted. So
and it's a really good topic. Yeah, I was reading, and it's really amazing. So yeah, we want to have him in the next session. Yeah, please.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so I think we are ready to conclude. And
Yes.
Thank you very much for the insightful session, very interactive. I'd like to thank the presenters and Marilou for organizing this. And many thanks for all of us for joining this webinar. And we hope to see you in our next session for PTV Talk Student Edition IMEA. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Marilou. Thank you for everyone who joined us as well.
Thank you
very much. And also remember that you are for all the audience that you are gonna have the recording video on our YouTube channel in 24 hours. Okay.
Yes, definitely. So there will be sent a link for the recording in 24 hours for the session that was for today. That's for sure.
Exactly. So thank you very much again. Really, I'm really thankful for the students for the great acceptance of these sessions of PTV Talks for them. And I'm really happy that they have the stage to explain their hard work, and they deserve this. So stay tuned, because we are going to prepare more, and we are going to do more call for papers. So even though we have a lot, yeah, we will keep doing these sessions as much as we can. Thank you very much.